I'm Dr. Shahin. In the last class, I taught you some of the important literary theories in English literature are like objective correlative, negative capability, and poetic diction, which are very important from your examination point of view, UGC NET JRF, and also in English literature. Understand? So today I will tell you some of the important literary terms which are very important from your examination point of view, UGC NET JRF, and also in your English literature in general. So the first literary term which I deal here is poetic diction or poetic justice. So poetic justice. So what is poetic justice? The term poetic justice was coined by Thomas Rhymer. The term poetic justice was coined by Thomas Rhymer. So it refers to exact reward or punishment given to a character according to his good or bad deeds. So this kind of justice is meted out at the hands of fate or divine power. Understand what is poetic justice? So poetic justice is a kind of reward or punishment given to a character according to his good or bad deeds. Clear? Now the second literary term which I deal here is poetic license. What is poetic license? You must know these literary terms when you study English literature. So poetic license, the poets are given the liberty of using certain words, coinage of words, use of grammar in their poetry in order to produce greater poetic effect, which is called poetry. Is the certain type of liberty given to the poets which they coin certain words, use of grammar and the words in order to produce greater poetic effect, right? Now the third literary term is what is an epic. So the epic is the greatest and most sublime form of poetry. The epic is the greatest and most sublime form of poetry. It is a long poem. The epic is a long poem divided into several books celebrating the life, heroic deeds, and achievements of a national hero, whether historical or legendary. So the epic is the greatest and most sublime form of poetry. It is the most sublime form of poetry, and this is a long poem, and it is divided into several books celebrating the life, heroic deeds, and achievements of a national hero, whether historical or legendary. So as for example, Milton's Paradise Lost is an epic. It is the best example of epic. So this Milton's Paradise Lost is an epic which describes Satan's fall from heaven, Adam and Eve's fall from Garden of Eden. And this book, and it is written into 12 books. Milton's Paradise Lost. So now the next literary term is mock epic or mock heroic poem. What is mock heroic poem? Mock heroic epic is a parody of the real epic. Mock heroic epic is a parody of the real epic which is written on a very trivial or funny incident. For example, Alexander Pope's The Rape of the Lock is mock heroic poem where Pope mocks the upper class society, the fashionable class of society of the 18th century England. Understand? So Pope modeled this mock heroic poem on Homer's The Iliad. So this is a mock heroic poem. Now it's clear. The next literary term is farce. What is farce? Farce is a crude form of comedy. In a very simple language, you should understand farce is a crude form of comedy. It is rarely a full play. It is an episode inserted within a play to create boisterous horse love her and please the lower class of spectators or relieve tragic tension. So this is farce. Farce is a crude form of comedy. It's not a full play. It's simply an episode inserted within a play to create boisterous laugh or humor. So understand? Now the next literary term is sonnet. What is sonnet? The term sonnet is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means a little sound. The word sonetto is the Italian word which means a little sound. A sonnet is a musical poem. A sonnet is a musical poem which consists of 14 lines and written in iambic pentameter. So this is the characteristic of a sonnet, that a sonnet is a musical poem which consists of 14 lines and written in iambic pentameter. As you know, Milton's sonnets, Shakespeare's sonnets, so many writers have written the sonnet. Now, the next literary term is satire. What is satire? In most of when you study most of the works, literary works, you come across the word satire. So you know this term satire, a work which aims at ridiculing follies or vices of the society. So a satire mainly aims at ridiculing follies or vices of the society. The main purpose of a satire is the amendment of the vices by correction. The main purpose of a satire is the amendment of vices by correction. So it is not written simply for the humorous purpose or for the laughing purpose. So it has some purpose, that its purpose is the amendment of vices by correction. As for example, the rape of the lock by Alexander Pope, where Pope exposes the follies and vices of the upper class society of 18th century England. So he has not simply exposed the vices and follies of that society, but he has also tried to correct the vices and follies of 18th century England. Understand? So these are the literary terms, very important in English literature, and you must know this literary term. Thanks for today. We meet in the next class.